Lamine Yamal will wear the number 10 shirt for Barcelona next season. A decision that sent shockwaves across the footballing world, because everyone knows that shirt is more than just a number. It's a legacy, a burden, a piece of FC Barcelona's soul. At Barça, when you see the number 10, you think of Messi. Ever since he left, that shirt has felt like a monument, too iconic, too heavy. The club once handed it to Ansu Fati, a young prodigy full of promise, but Fati couldn't withstand the colossal expectations. And then, quietly, as the season drew to a close, Lamine Yamal emerged. When the world began whispering his name as a future Ballon d'Or contender, Barça knew the time had come to make a bold move. When the 2024-25 season began, many expected Yamal to take on the number 10. He was the new beacon of hope, the brightest talent from La Masia since Messi, and perhaps the only young star capable of making Barça fans believe again during a time of rebuilding. But Yamal said no. He chose to keep the number 19, a quiet, unassuming number, but one that subtly echoed the early days of Messi's rise. His reason surprised everyone. "I want to respect Ansu Fati." It was a humble gesture in a sport that rarely values patience, and it made people, at the club and beyond, pause and reflect. Maybe this kid understood, more than anyone, the weight of what was ahead. Wearing the number 19 wasn't about hiding. It was Yamal's way of slowing down, focusing purely on football before chasing iconic status. And in that slower rhythm, he went further than anyone could have imagined. Officially, Ansu Fati still held the number 10. But inside Camp Nou, everyone knew his role had become symbolic at best. Fati was once hailed as Messi's heir, not just for his skills, but for his energy and deep connection with La Masia. But after a string of injuries, everything slipped away. He went on loan to Brighton, returned to Barcelona, but mostly sat on the bench. When he did play, he wasn't the same. The season passed without anyone really mentioning him as part of Barca's future. That number 10 on his back faded, just like his presence on the pitch. According to multiple reports, Fati willingly gave up the number when he learned of the club's new direction, Lamine Yamal. A quiet exit laced with sadness and acceptance. But maybe he had seen it coming for a long time. Fati knew the legendary shirt was no longer his to wear. If Messi turned the number 10 into a global symbol, Fati's journey with it became a lesson about expectations and how not everyone is ready to carry a legacy that massive. Now it's Yamal's time. Not because he demanded it, but because Barça believes he's earned it. The announcement came as the season was ending, massive headlines worldwide, but a moment that sparked mixed emotions among fans. Some cheered, "He deserves it, there's no one else." Others hesitated, "Let him make history with 19. Why burden him with the weight of 10? But the doubt was never about his talent. Everyone sees the level Yamal is playing at. The hesitation came from what the number 10 now represents, a symbol once more, and symbols carry pressure. Some fear that if Yamal's form dips, the number itself could become his biggest obstacle, especially since he's only 17, with the whole world watching every step. But then again, maybe it's exactly the right time. If a 17-year-old can carry a team, dominate games, and find himself in Ballon d'Or conversations, then giving him the 10 isn't a gamble. It's a natural next step, a well-earned reward for the only player who has made the legacy come alive again, effortlessly. Every great club has numbers that echo through history. At Barcelona, none speak louder than 10. Rivaldo, Riquelme, Ronaldinho, Messi, each brought their own kind of magic. But Messi turned it into something greater, not just for the goals or trophies, but for holding onto it, unmatched, for 13 straight seasons. When he left, that number became a void. Barça left it untouched, then handed it to Fati. But things didn't unfold the way they hoped. And so, for a while, number 10 became the shirt nobody wanted to talk about. Even as Yamal lit up the 2024-25 season, many still said, "Don't give him the 10, just let things be." But football doesn't thrive on caution. Every throne eventually needs a new king. Barcelona needs a successor for the number 10, someone strong enough to revive it in his own way. And as Lamine Yamal matured game by game, Barça knew it was time to place a bigger faith in him. When Barcelona handed the iconic number 10 shirt to Lamine Yamal, they weren't just betting on a teenage prodigy. They were crafting a new symbol, one that bridges both footballing legacy and modern brand strategy. Club president Joan Laporta made it crystal clear. Yamal's new contract includes a €1 billion release clause. That figure is more than a number. It's a declaration, a message to Europe. Don't even bother knocking. This door won't open. PSG reportedly offered close to €500 million for Yamal. Barcelona didn't blink. They know what they have, someone priceless. Behind that decision lies a calculated business move. At just 17, without representing any major brand, Yamal's shirts are already among the club's best sellers. Now, with the number 10 stitched onto his back, sales are expected to skyrocket. But that's just the surface. As Yamal becomes the face of the team, the ripple effect will be massive. Endorsement deals, image rights, global brand value, especially with the prospect of him starring for Spain at the upcoming World Cup. The number 10 is back because Yamal arrived at the exact moment Barcelona needed a beacon, someone who could lead not only on the pitch, but also symbolize the club's journey to rebuild trust, pride, and identity. And with that number, comparisons were inevitable. A left-footed winger on the right flank wearing number 10, gliding past defenders with elegant control. It's no surprise people are calling him the next Messi. But look closer. Yamal is not Messi. Messi played like a firework, explosive, always chasing goals. Yamal, in contrast, plays like a conductor, calm, composed, controlling tempo rather than disrupting it. His passes, his touches, the spaces he creates, they all reflect a maturity far beyond his age. At 17, Yamal doesn't try to be the center of attention. Yet, the game often revolves around him. He doesn't seek the spotlight. He just plays, pure, natural football, and lets the world take notice. While Messi dazzled with solo runs and thunderous finishes, Yamal stuns in subtler ways. Every touch seems purposeful, almost like a hidden message embedded in motion. He throws defenders off rhythm. He draws gasps from the crowd. Messi was one of a kind. Yamal is too, but in his own way. Barcelona doesn't need a replica. They need someone to continue the story, not erase the past. And if Yamal has learned anything from Messi, perhaps it's this. To be extraordinary, you first have to be unapologetically yourself. Barcelona could have rushed the transition, but they didn't. They let him wear number 19 all season. They let things unfold naturally. Behind the scenes, though, every step was planned. On the 13th of next month, Yamal turns 18. That same day, he'll sign his new long-term deal, complete with the €1 billion release clause. More importantly, the number 10 shirt will officially be his. It's no coincidence this happens on his birthday. Barcelona knows the power of symbolism. This is a defining moment. The day Yamal stops being a rising star and becomes the carrier of Barca's legacy. That contract signing will also mark the launch of the club's 2025-26 kit. And from that day forward, Yamal 10 shirts will fill the shelves across Catalonia. Everything, timing, media, messaging, has been meticulously crafted. But no matter how perfect the plan, none of it matters unless Yamal delivers. And that's the one thing Barca has no doubt about. Messi's number 10 never really disappeared. It went to Ansu Fati, then lingered quietly in the background. Yamal once turned it down, wanting to play without noise or pressure. But after a season of leading Barcelona's attack with maturity, vision, and poise, the number 10 no longer feels like a burden. It feels right. No one knows what comes next. But for the first time since Messi's departure, the number 10 shirt has been given to someone everyone agrees deserves it. No debate, no unfair comparisons. Just the right player at the right time. An old shirt, a new face, and someday people won't say Yamal is wearing Messi's shirt. They'll say that shirt once belonged to Messi before it became iconic in the hands of Lamine Yamal.